Hello. Have you ever read this book? Sadly, I hadn't either. Recently, I read this picture book, Last Stop on Market Street. Words by David De La Pena. It's a book similar to the childhood of Christian Robertson, the illustrator, who rode the bus with his grandmother, much like the main character CJ. This book I was drawn to the brightness of the cover, also to the cheerfulness of the characters, as well I was drawn to the multicultural diversity of the people on the front cover here. The main character, CJ, and his grandmother begin to have problems as they leave church, walking into the rain to wait for the bus. CJ watches his friends speed past in their dry and comfy cars, and he has many questions and concerns for his grandma as to why they don't have a car. Last Stop on the Market Street. CJ pushed through the church doors, skipping down the steps. Outside, the air smelled like freedom, but it also smelled like rain, which freckled CJ's shirt and dripped down his nose. So the rain is freckling his shirt. So usually when you think of freckles, you think about spots on someone's skin, maybe their cheeks or, around their face. But he's talking about freckling his shirt, which is the little drops of rain, the dew that comes down is making little tiny spots, almost like freckles on his shirt. And it's dripping down his nose as well. He ducked under his Nana's umbrella, saying, "How come we gotta wait for the bus in all this wet? These trees get thirsty too," his Nana told him. "Don't you see the big one drinking through a straw?" CJ looked for a long time, but he never sees a straw. So the ground here is soaking wet from the rain, the ground and the rain. And so you see this long, tall tree here. So if you think about the ground wet and the tree so tall here, so the soaking of the water up the trunk and it goes through the leaves to give it nutrients, almost like a drinking straw when you're slurping and hydrating from a straw or soda. From the bus stop, he watched the water pool on the flower petals. He watched the rain patter against the windshields of a nearby car. His friend Kobe climbed in and gave CJ a wave, and they drove off with his dad. "Nana, how come we don't get a car?" How do you think he feels here, CJ, with his grandma under the umbrella, walking in the rain as the rain freckles his shirt, watching his friends speed by in their comfy and dry cars? I suppose he would feel kind of envious or sad there as he's watching his friends speed past. What do we need a car for? We got a bus that breathes fire, and Mr. Dennis, who always has a trick for you. The bus creaked up to a stop in front of them. It sighed and sagged, and the door swung open. "So this bus, do you really think that there's fire coming from this bus?" I think maybe she's talking about this dragon here. You see this dragon? And the fire that's coming out of his mouth, almost like a breathing dragon, fire dragon. And here as he's entering the bus, leave it here on a cliffhanger and hope that you'll kind of take a peek in this book. But as we read this book, who do you think they'll meet? And where do you think they'll go as the bus approaches the last stop, which is going to be Market Street? There are loads more questions by CJ as the story continues. This book was a page turner, and I highly recommend it if you like putting yourself in someone else's shoes. This book was humorous, filled with vibrant text, and it was a heartfelt story. This is a must read, and I give it 2 thumbs up. Here's a perfect book for you if you like meeting new people, taking adventurous rides, and books about family or realistic stories. I suggest that you check out this book from the library, or even perhaps to buy it for your own book collection. Well, Hope I intrigued you to read more about CJ and his journey. Happy reading!